standing. I was a little inspired by my Qi Gong practice this morning. We're going to start just after you loosen up a little bit. Just find some movement in your joints. Roll your shoulders a bit. Open and close your fists. Maybe twirl out your ankles. You know, shake out your legs and your arms a little bit. Then find a place to stand, what we call a horse stance. So the horse stance is a little wider, toes are facing, we'll call this the Wuji stance, excuse me. Toes are facing forward. Horse stance, the toes are turned out a little bit more. So a little shrug of your shoulders up toward your ears. Let things settle down. Have a little tuck of your chin here, a little tuck of your tailbone, so it's kind of heading down toward the floor, and your spine is tall. You can have your eyes soft, your eyes closed for now. Find your breath as we always do, and just take that scan of your body this morning. Feel your feet grounded into the mat, into the earth. You can imagine that, your crown reaching toward the sky. Be sure you keep breathing, not so much worry about the inhales and the exhales and combining them with the movements, that you're welcome to do that as well. Soften anything that needs softening, especially up here in your jaw where your teeth are clenched possibly this morning. Just let go of any busyness. Sure, this is quite a busy day. But just try and let some of that go while we do our practice. Open your eyes, have a soft gaze. Yeah, you can turn your toes up. You're going to do some ocean breathing. So this is where we bend into our knees a little bit. Checking your alignment there. Our arms come up and out, float down. So we're not taking them up over our head. Just think of the tide coming in and out. So open your chest when those arms come up. Let the arms just follow with your movements of your body. The arms flow down. Just go ahead and square up your feet now. Just point the toes forward. It can be whatever distance apart is comfortable for you. We're going to just cleanse the internal organs here. So the arms are coming up. Think about moving energy with this. So fan the fingers down and down toward the floor. Your knees can be soft. Neck, relax, and just float back up. Arms flatten up. Kind of as you're scooping energy. And you're bringing it down all the way into your body, your lower body here. And then letting it out. And then just releasing toxins here. Look back. Come back to the center. Give your shoulders a shrug. Kind of roll those shoulders up and back. And then forward. Then we're going to take some bigger movements here. Kind of similar. Open your arms up. Take them over your head. Float them down. Bend into your knees. Those arms reach out and up and over. Think of a maybe nice figure 8 on each arm. We're going to come back to the center. Our arms are kind of in a tray. Let's take them back. And then they go up and over our head, open out. And those elbows come in toward our wrists. Turn those palms out behind. Find lots of movement with your body here. And it's all good. Don't get too hung up on all of it. Just shake things out a little bit here. Twirl out your fingers. And working with our wrists, we're just going to be turning our wrists here and then shaking out the hands. And then warming up those hands and placing them on our heart. A little bit of nurturing for our important internal organs, our heart and our lungs. Those nice deep breaths. You can close your eyes. Let's twirl out those wrists again and shake out those hands and give those palms a little rub. Place them on your heart again. We're going to get a little movement of our upper spine. So this is our cat, sort of our cat-cow movement. So those hands are kind of circling above our waist. So our ribs, and we're finding that rounding. And then opening up the chest. So a couple more rounds here like this. Just using this in an upright position. So bend into your knees. And then come back up to center, and we're going to reverse that direction. So the hands are going up and around. Just kind of circling your heart and your lungs with that nice movement of your chest and arching of your upper back. And last one here. Come back to center. And just close your eyes again. See how you're feeling. We're going to take some balancing now. So at the center of your mat, take your weight onto one leg. So you can lift that opposite heel just a little bit. When this leg feels nice and empty, go ahead and bend your knee and kind of bring your elbow up and step down. So sort of a marching. I'm just going to turn to the side. So my left leg is going to empty here, and then I'm going to just lift up that arm, and we'll take it to the other side. So it's a nice slow. This is a Tai Chi movement. So don't hurry it. And as this arm comes up, your other arm, you're going to have the palm kind of flat facing the floor. So a challenge to your balance here. As with any balance, you can kind of focus on something, a wall ahead of you. All right, step it out, shake it out. Let's take a little turn here now, a little twirl of our arms. Just let them float. Maybe a little higher. And then open one side, so one hand to the chest, the other arm opens back. Follow with your head, your neck. Come back to center. Gonna find a warrior two stance here this morning. So my right toes are up to the short end of the mat. Back foot is more parallel. So arms come out, bend into that front knee, and we'll float up. So make sure that ankle is over, tracking over your foot, or your knee is tracking over your foot. Hands to your heart. Let's switch our feet. Float into that warrior two. Just let your arms dangle down. Come back to center, hands to your heart. Let's switch our feet again. Find our warrior two. And then find exalted warrior. Right arm is coming up over my ear. I'm looking up maybe at my hand. And then float down. Knee stays bent as I come into side angle. Arm maybe over my ear, maybe not. Maybe rest on my head or on my back. And let's just float through this a little bit. Exalted to side angle. And come back to center. I'm going to wake up my screen here so I don't lose you guys. We're going to go to the other side. So finding my warrior two again, or your warrior two. Front palm lifts up. Just however it's comfortable. Bend that elbow maybe and just rest it on your head. And that back arm drops down. Let's float down to side angle. So not a lot of weight on that forearm, resting on your thigh. Your spine is nice and long. You're lifted out of your shoulder. Leaving lots of space for the breath, if you've noticed. Let's float up. And float down. We'll do that one more time. Take your time here. Come back up to center. So my knee is straight, front knee is straight. Let's just tilt into triangle. You can use the block here. Rest your hand there so you don't have to grovel for the floor. Heart is nice and open here. Forehand is resting on your hip. And float back up. And let's take it down again. We'll just kind of move in and out a little bit. So it's nice to have that raising of the floor to you. We're going to switch it to the other side. So just turn toes, turn the other direction. I'm going to put this block here for myself. So warrior two, and then we are straightening that front leg, tipping into triangle. The hand just rests down on my shin maybe, or the floor, or a nice aligned pose with my hand on that block. I don't have to worry about groveling to the floor. I can worry about that upper part and really open up. And let's flip back up. So a little pendiculation here. Floating in and out of the pose, maybe finding a little more deepness to the pose, maybe not. Maybe you're just focusing on the breath, how you're feeling right now, just nurturing your body with this awareness. Come back to center. Let's parallel our feet. And then walk our feet together. Come to the front of your mat, stand in mountain alignment. Parallel feet here, or closer if that's comfortable for you. Arms just relax down by the side, but you have energy in this pose. All those joints are aligned. Ears over our shoulders, over our hips, over our knees. Couple breaths here. Arms come up, extended mountain. Exhale into a forward fold so knees can be soft. Maybe even grab that block here. Take that half lift so knees can be soft or legs straight, hands to those shins. Exhale down. Let's grab our elbows, bend those knees so they're just your chest can just rest on those sides. Rock side to side. Go ahead and take a half lift. Again, exhale, take it down. Gonna take one foot back. Let's lower down to our knee. Come up into a low lunge. Maybe those arms come up to a V. And then you maybe just come into this runner stretch. And float back into that again. And then let's take a hand down. You can have a hand to the block, come into a twist. So turning to that side, maybe rest your hand, back of your hand on your posterior part of your sacrum here. Gaze up into this twist. Exhale, take it down, move this out just toward the front a little bit. Coming up and stepping forward. Take that half lift again. Exhale, take it down, big step back, and dropping down to my knee. Coming up into some sort of lunge here. Your arms can always be in cactus arms. You can be much higher in your lunge as well. Okay? And then exhale, let's just do that counter movement of that little runner stretch. And then coming into that lunge again. And then dropping your hand down to the floor maybe, or to that block. So we can take that twist. And maybe again, the back of the hand to the back of your sacrum. Come back to center. flipped into a runner's lunge, and maybe just step either to a plank or drop to your knees and go back to child's pose. We'll go ahead and take child's pose here for a moment. Take out things that need taking out. Then inhale, just roll forward onto your forearms. We're kind of in a all fours position, so we'll take that chakra bakasana, a little more of a cat-cow. So from the floor, as you go up into your cat, just go back to child. Come up one more time, we're on all fours. Either come into a kneeling lunge or a kneeling plank or a whole plank. From there, take a downward dog or child's pose or stay in all fours. And walk it out. And then float down to the knees. Let's take it down. Child's pose again. Let's just relax our arms down on our side there. Maybe rest the forehead on a block or the floor. Maybe a shrug of your shoulders here and then come forward. Let's take it forward. So we can get into a back bend here. So today we'll do Sphinx pose. So elbows can be under your shoulders, they can be forward or behind it. What feels good for you? So a little lift of my toes here. Pubic bone steps down, and then my heart draws forward. Forearms on the mat, fingers spread wide, all 10 toenails on the floor. Let's go ahead and lower down. Shake things out a little bit. I think we'll go ahead and do shoulder rolls since we're down here. So my right arm is going to extend out onto the floor. I'm just rolling up onto my right hip. Keeping that whole arm all the way up to the shoulder maybe. Kind of glued to the floor. Maybe that arm goes up or it just rests on your hip on that other side. And you're taking your shoulder blades toward each other. And then exhale, come back to center. Kind of shake things out. My left arm's going to go out. My head's going to turn away from that, so toward my right. Again, arm can go up, but it can certainly just rest on your hip. Don't make that the whole point of the practice. Take that shoulder blade back instead. Just think about that squeezing toward the other side. Find a place of ease so you can breathe. And then exhale. Take it down. And let's come up to all fours. So our joints are stacked. We're going to take an opposite stretch here. So thread the needle here. One arm goes up and threads underneath the other side. So resting on that shoulder now. So this is the internal rotation of your shoulder. Opposite what we just did on the floor there. And the next breath or two, come back up, all fours. Look that other arm up and under. You can always take that opportunity to kind of twirl out your wrist. And then coming up to all fours. And you go ahead and have a seat. We're going to rock on back. So hands behind your thighs, just roll on back. You might just grab a block to keep it closer to you. Okay, this is where you can massage out your back. Knees towards your chest. We'll rock side to side or circling. And then knees bent, go ahead and lift your hips up, shake your hips out a little bit. Maybe find a little bridge pose here. Clasping the hands underneath. And then as you lower your hips, go ahead and just tuck your hands under your tush. Do just a little bit of core work here. So legs are going to go overhead and the legs are going to stay together. We're going to float around here in circles. So legs are up together and then move them forward and then find those circles. And just a little bit of a tug on your lower belly. Take that circle the other way. Release, engage here. Come back to center. Lower again. And let's just find that little water wheel. The legs are still glued together. Let's take it the other way. Go ahead and move those hands. Take the feet down to the mat. I'm going to extend one leg out. So in my case, I'm extending my left leg out. I put the sole of my right foot to my thigh or to my knee. And then I'm going to just take my left arm and guide my knee across toward the floor into the supine spinal twist. So you can follow that with your gaze and extend your opposite arm out or look at that arm as well. And just how that feels for you today, palm up or palm down. Nice, easy breaths. Find that ease in your pose. Next exhale, kind of let things roll back and get yourself back to center if you've got mouth. Send your other leg down. Foot to the thigh, and then just assist that knee. Find ease in this side of the twist. And come back to center. Feet to the mat, maybe supine cobblers, arms stretched out. For a rest, and then happy baby. A little rocking out, soles of your feet up to the sky. Knees toward your side ribs and hold the backs of your thighs, your calves, your ankles, sides of your feet. Make your way into your final relaxation pose, Shavasana. Hands can rest on your belly or out to your sides in a more welcoming position, feet flopped open. Let your body sink into the mat. Shoulders relaxed, again, jaw relaxed.
Let your body absorb the benefits of the practice. If you're ready to come up to seated, go ahead. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you care to. Just slowly come up to seated. Keep your eyes closed. And if you're just coming up to seated, just, slow movements. Arms come up again to the sky. Big exhale. Let them come down again to your lap. And have a great rest of your day. Namaste.